Duty meets Mario Party in a stylized, deck-building, multiplayer card shooter built in Unreal Engine for Fortnite. Following AAA game development standards in asset creation and building the game from the ground up, Lawless Hand delivers a fun, chaotic, and competitive experience for players of all ages.
Hello, my name is Lyle, Joslyn. I was one of the programmers on Lawless Hand. I worked on the card selection system, deck system, loadout system, combat system, player collisions. The main reason I took on this project is that I wanted to learn UEFN. I had no experience with it before working on this project, and I wanted to see how far I could get my knowledge within a specific engine within 5 to 6 months of when I started this project. Very new tools within Unreal Engine, and that will be coming to actual Unreal Engine soon, so I can get a step above others when those actually come out, on top of learning how to make games in Fortnite. It's just another engine underneath my belt. I can show how quickly I learned this over this period of 5 months to employers, and I can work on it for personal projects myself. I had a great time coding, working on Lawless Hand, and I hope you enjoy playing the game.
Hi, I'm Hank. I'm one of the programmers on Lawless Hand, idea guy, game designer, who made a lot of the early choices on the project. The reason we chose Unreal Editor for Fortnite for this was you immediately get access to the Fortnite ecosystem by building a game into the UEFN. It gets the net code, it gets the internet platforming as well, so whatever number of players want to play our game, they could. A language verse, it kind of matched a lot of goals because I wanted to build a sort of party game shooter, and it's Fortnite engine, so surely can build a party game shooter. The reason I was kind of interested in verse particularly was I remember watching a YouTube video that was given to me as a recommendation by my boss, my first programming job at Yeti, The Future of Programming by Brett Victor. And in it, they kind of talked about how cool would it be if we had like a very highly paralleled internet where like you could interact with lots of people, and there's like a way to do that. We started building a small shooter project over the course of a month over the summer to try to test the waters of UEFN. They did make significant changes. One of those being the scene graph, which was an experimental feature that kind of like locked us in because we wanted to make a first-person game, and that was extremely challenging to overcome. Eventually, we got really close with using like cinematic cameras and then like tying the player's view to like an animation that's playing, but then map the animation to the player's position, so you're like seeing from like a different camera. The game has to ship, so we're going third person. It'll look a little bit goofy, but at least it's good. It'll work. The project has just about all the features we're shooting to make. How to end it on like the most positive note, because it's like I had like these huge goals and expectations, but I was like, yeah, well, level is incredibly beautiful. Marlow put into a lot of good work to make really beautiful assets, and getting a game in that and working on the game, it's been interesting. I look forward to getting this game shipped and published. Party game shooter with cards and deck building stuff, and I'm happy to have been able to spend so much time in it and learn it so much for a class and a project.
Hello, my name is Marlow. I worked on the environment and prop art of our game.
From the beginning, we knew that we wanted our project to feel fun. To reach this goal, we went for a stylized look and feel to everything. We decided on hand-painted textures with a dark outline, similar to the style of Borderlands and League of Legends, all projects that use 3D models, but rely heavily on hand-painted texture maps. With all these references in mind, I dove into the world of hand-painted textures. Adobe Photoshop has been my best friend throughout this project. I took into consideration materials that would be used often, such as concrete, wood, cobblestone, grass, and different variations of roof shingles. Knowing the textures are going to be doing almost all of the heavy lifting for the visuals of the game, I had to make sure these are perfect. Continuing with the hand-painted style techniques, I designed logos for the outdoor shops. One of the things I loved about this project was the level of creative freedom. I designed each of these buildings and gave them each purpose. The saloon, the adventurers guild, taverns, breweries, potion shops, and pet shops. The same hand-painted style techniques were used for the card graphics. I made a template to use for each one, and then a different graphic to tell them all apart, similar to the cards in the game Slay the Spire. One thing I needed to consider was how the 3 different themes matched with one another. The carnival area and the fantasy area worked well with one another. They came together like a festival happening in a medieval fantasy village. The Old West area was more difficult to incorporate, especially since Old West towns tend to be more linear, while fantasy village maps are more loose and free. In the end, the Old West area got its own section as a town nearby the fantasy village that players can come and explore. In the end, I believe it all came together well. We reached our goal in creating a fun, stylized setting that complements the gameplay.
Hi, my name is Thomson Isbister. I worked on the project Lawless Hand with a group of other highly skilled students. I did the character for this game and put it into UEFN. I did this project because I wanted to work with the team and get more used to the and want to get used to making more characters. I only have a couple made so far and wanted to get more characters under my belt. I made this following the typical pipeline for making characters and wanted to learn more, so I started from a ball and then made a full anatomy character. Did the same with clothes and then retopologized, unwrapped, and textured all of it. Some of the takeaways that I got from this was learning the new Substance Painter hand painting modifier with hand painting textures, and lastly, communicating with my team and fixing problems related to anything that was related to my stuff, just like any other work game environment.